In a twist of fate, the trash she'd been nagging me to take out for days led me to the elevator, where I caught her fucking her lover. A moment of betrayal that shattered my world, yet became the catalyst for my ultimate transformation. Be me, Adrian, 29 years old, standing in a polished chrome elevator of my wife's office building, holding her favorite matcha green tea latte and fresh croissant from that fancy French bakery downtown. Just wanted to surprise her, show her I still care. Have been together for 6 years, married for 3, working as an architectural engineer for major development company, living what most people would call a dream life in Denver. Elevator stops at her floor. Door opens. My whole world shatters in an instant. 2 people stumble into the elevator, wrapped around each other like teenagers. They're laughing, completely lost in their own world. Feel my heart stop. It's Lily, my wife. She's all over some guy I've never seen before. Standing there frozen, trying to process what I'm seeing. The coffee cup almost slips from my hand. Force myself to stay calm, clear my throat and speak with ice in my voice. Well, are you two enjoying your lunch break? They freeze like deer in headlights. Watch all color drain from Lily's face. The guy's smirk disappears faster than my trust in her. He looks like some wannabe model. Slicked back hair and expensive suit. Probably thinks he's God's gift to women. One look at his face tells me everything. Every lie she's ever told me reflected in his arrogant expression. Dead silence fills the elevator. Can hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. Lily's mouth opens and closes like a fish out of water. She's trying to find words. Any words to explain this away? The guy takes a step back, no longer looking so confident. Finally, she manages to speak. Adrian, her voice barely a whisper. She says my name like it's foreign to her now. Like she's forgotten who I am. Don't want to hear her cheap excuses. Look straight at her, trying to contain the rage building inside me. So this is the big project keeping you late at the office? My voice drips with sarcasm. She looks down at the floor. Notice she's still holding his hand. Her fingers lingering like she can't let go. Like she's choosing him even now. 100 memories flash through my mind. All those late nights at work. All those times she fell asleep with her phone face down. All those signs I ignored because I trusted her. It's not what it looks like, Adrian, Lily stammers. Finally drops the guy's hand. Steps toward me with pleading eyes. Can see right through her act. Notice there's no real guilt in her expression. Oh, really? I scoff. Let the bitterness flow through my words. Then why don't you explain it to me, Lily? Make it make sense. Because it sure looks like you've been playing me for a fool. She glances at her new boyfriend. He shifts uncomfortably. Clearly wants to escape this disaster he walked into. Almost feel bad for him. She struggles to find words. We've been going through a rough patch, Adrian. I needed someone to talk to. She reaches out to touch my arm. Like that would fix anything. Step back before she can reach me. Watch her hand fall awkwardly. A rough patch? I laugh. Can't believe what I'm hearing. When exactly did you tell me about this rough patch? Last I checked, we had an anniversary dinner 3 weeks ago. You told me everything was perfect. Feel my control slipping away. Every word tears through whatever restraint I have left. The guy suddenly decides to play peacemaker. Holds up his hands like he's directing traffic. Look, he says casually. Like we're discussing a minor misunderstanding. I didn't know you were still together like that. His voice drips with fake innocence. I thought you were separated. Oh, you thought we were separated. Turn back to Lily. She's biting her lip now, looking anywhere but at me. Is that what you've been telling him? Adrian, she says quietly, uses that reasonable tone she always uses. The one that makes me feel like I'm being irrational. I didn't think you'd take it like this. I thought maybe we could work something out. Be adults about it. Be adults about it. My voice gets louder. Can't control it anymore. You want me to be an adult about finding my wife cheating with some random guy in an elevator? The doors ping open at the ground floor. All 3 of us stand frozen. People walking by glancing. Sense the tension. Give us a wide berth. The guy clears his throat. Edges toward the door, not letting him escape that easily. No, stay, I say. Give him my coldest smile. I'd love to hear your side of this. How did you two meet? How long has this been going on? Lock eyes with him. Or was it just an elevator fling? Some lunch break entertainment? He freezes. Looks at Lily like a lost puppy, waiting for permission to speak. To run. To do anything. Her face flushes red. Can see frustration replacing the guilt. She's about to lose it. That makes 2 of us. This is none of your business, Lily snaps. Her tone suddenly sharp as glass. Watch the guilt transform into anger. It's between us, Adrian. I can explain everything if we just talk. None of my business? Echo her words back. Feel the fury boiling over inside me. Lily, you made it my business. The moment you decided to turn our marriage into a joke. Into this, she flinches at my words. Don't care anymore. Done caring. Elevator doors start to close. Have a brief insane moment. Think about letting them close, leaving her there with her lies, with her lover, with the little web of betrayal she's woven. But hold the doors open instead. Not finished yet. You know what, Lily? Keep my voice steady. Let the rage simmer down into something colder, something more powerful. I'm done. I'm not going to stand here. Let you make a fool out of me anymore. So go ahead, enjoy your talks, your lunches, your rough patches, but leave me out of them. 'Cause as far as I'm concerned, we're over. Watch her eyes widen. See a flicker of panic break through her mask. She opens her mouth, probably to spew more lies. Don't stick around to hear them. Let the elevator doors close. Seal her and her new boyfriend behind them. Walk out of the building. Feel the weight of what just happened, starting to sink in. My marriage, my life as I knew it, all gone. Left with nothing but a cold emptiness. Fills every part of me. Step out into the fresh air. Feel that emptiness begin to shift. Turn into something else. A determination to start over, to move forward without her. For the first time in years. Feel something close to freedom. Walking away from that building. Feel like I'm in a daze. Every step feels surreal. Like I'm watching myself from outside my own body. Mind racing. Replaying everything I just saw. Everything I just said should feel relief after telling her it's over. But all I feel is betrayal, dragging me down with every step. Make it to my car. Something unexpected happens. Instead of breaking down, instead of letting anger take over, feel strangely calm, steady. In that eerie calm, an idea starts forming. Part of me wants to vanish, disappear without a trace, just like she wiped me from her life. Leave her wondering forever. But another part wants justice, wants answers. No, this can't end here. Take a deep breath, steady my shaking hands, dial a number I never thought I'd need. Not like this. Hey, Connor, it's Adrian. Yeah, listen, I need your help. No, it's not work-related. Can you meet me at Harrison's bar in an hour? Connor was my college buddy, now a private investigator. Been through it all himself. Divorce, betrayal, revenge. You name it. I'd been there for him during his worst times. Now it was his turn. No, I can't just walk away from Lily. Not without getting to the truth. If she could sneak around like this, who knows what else she's been hiding. Walk into Harrison's an hour later. Connor's already there. Whiskey in hand, eyebrows raised. He knows something big is up. What's going on, Adrian, he asks, genuine concern in his voice. You look like you've been through hell. Take a seat. Order a drink. Lay it all out for him. From the elevator scene to the moment I told her it's over. Watch his face change. From shock to anger, to a steely resolve as he listens. So you want me to dig up dirt on her? He asks. Keeps his tone neutral. But his eyes are focused, ready for action. Not exactly, I say. Surprise even myself with my answer. I don't want revenge. I want to know why. I want to know if it's just this guy. Or if there's more. I want to know who the hell I've been married to. All these years, I need to know what else she's hiding. Connor nods with understanding in his eyes. All right, I'll start looking into her records, he says. Track her movements. Maybe find some people she's close to. I'll dig up everything I can. Exhale slowly. Feel a bit of weight lift. We clink glasses. For the first time today, feel a sliver of control return. Next few days pass in a blur. Pretend to work. Avoid her texts. Ignore her calls. Every time her name appears on my screen. Feel that same disgust, that same cold resolve to see this through. Need those answers? Week later, Connor calls. His voice different, sharper than usual. Meet me at our usual spot. My stomach twists at his tone. Get there fast. He's already waiting. Thick envelope in front of him. I'm not going to lie, Adrian. This is rough, but you deserve to know the whole story. Reach for the envelope. Brace myself for whatever's inside. Pictures, receipts, records of texts I'd never seen. Connor's detailed notes. It's worse than I imagined. This wasn't some random fling. She'd been seeing him. Ryan, I now know his name. For over a year, they'd gone on work trips together. Stayed in hotels under fake names. Exchanged messages I can barely read. Without my blood boiling. But that's not even the worst part. Connor leans forward, his face dead serious. It's not just him, Adrian. There's another guy too. About 6 months back, some client she was helping with contract work. I don't know if she's a serial cheater, but she's definitely got a pattern. That word hits like a punch to the gut. Pattern. Lily hadn't just slipped up once. This wasn't about work stress or a rough patch. This was her life. A twisted game she'd been playing. Behind my back. For who knows how long. I don't even recognize her, I manage. Voice barely above a whisper. Feel hollow. Gutted. Watch the last shreds of trust. Turn to dust before my eyes. Connor nods. Looks at me with mix of sympathy and anger. I know, Adrian. I know it's brutal. But listen, if you want to disappear, just be done with it. I can help you with that. No one would even know where you went. You could leave her wondering forever. For a moment, the thought is tempting. A clean break, leaving Lily with nothing but questions. Let her be haunted by her own betrayal. But then another idea forms. Something colder, more deliberate. No, I say slowly. Feel resolve hardening inside me. I'm not going anywhere. She doesn't get to move on like nothing happened. She doesn't get a clean slate. While I'm left with all this, Connor nods, understanding my intention. So what's the plan? Think about it. Let the anger settle. Turn it into something stronger. I'm going to confront her, and I'm going to take everything I can. Spend the next few hours strategizing, laying out every detail of what's about to unfold. By the time we're done, feel ready. Not broken, not defeated, just prepared. Walk into our house next evening, calm and collected. Lily's sitting on the couch, eyes red from crying, clutching her phone. She looks up when I enter, guilt written all over her face. Adrian, she whispers, stands up quickly. We need to talk. Oh, don't worry, I say. Let a small, cold smile creep onto my face. We're going to talk, but it's not going to be the kind of conversation you're hoping for. Pull out Connor's envelope, toss it onto the table in front of her. Watch her eyes widen. See her face fall apart piece by piece as she sees the evidence. Every lie, every betrayal, laid out in black and white. Watch all color drain from Lily's face. She just stares at the envelope, contents spilling out like a slow-motion nightmare. Doesn't move, stands frozen. Eyes locked on photos and notes, everything exposed in painful detail. Silence fills the room, thick and electric, like the air before a storm. Finally, she looks up, her mouth trembling, searching for words. Adrian, I can explain, she stammers. Her voice is small, hollow. Can tell she knows. No explanation will fix this. Go ahead, Lily, I say calmly. Cross my arms. Wait for her pathetic attempt. I'd love to hear why you lied, why you betrayed me over and over again. Surprised at the icy control in my voice. Tell me why you thought it was okay to treat our marriage like a joke. She opens her mouth, closes it again, looks down at the photos, struggling to find a way to spin this. It wasn't like that, she manages, voice barely a whisper. I was confused. Things got complicated, Adrian. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Shake my head, let out a low, bitter laugh. Complicated? That's your excuse? You didn't mean for it to go this far? It went far the minute you lied to me. The minute you started sneaking around, playing this sick game behind my back. She glances at the door, like she's thinking about running, but something in her expression shifts. Watches her straighten her back, face hardening, like she's finding some twisted version of courage. You know what, she says, voice turning cold. Maybe if you'd been around more, I wouldn't have felt the need to look elsewhere. Her words slice through me, but instead of hurt, feel strange satisfaction. She just exposed herself completely, not a shred of remorse, just shifting blame, deflecting. Wow, I say. Nod slowly while watching her. You really have no shame, do you? She shrugs, crosses her arms, completely defiant now, all that guilt melting away, replaced by pure anger. Maybe if you weren't so predictable, she sneers. So safe. I wouldn't have felt trapped. I needed excitement, Adrian. I needed someone who actually made me feel alive. There it is. The raw truth, finally unfiltered. She'd gotten bored. I'd been too naive, too trusting to see it. A twisted calm settles over me. Realize something important? I don't love this version of Lily, the woman I loved, the one I thought was my partner. She's long gone. All right, I say, step back from her, toward the door. You want excitement? You'll get it. Turn on my heel, head for the door. Where are you going? She demands. Her voice wavers slightly, hint of panic breaking through her defiance. Stop at the doorknob. Look back at her. Give her a half smile. Feels colder than anything I've ever felt before. To get a lawyer. And don't worry, I'm going to make this very exciting for you. Watch her face fall. Don't wait to see her reaction. Walk out. Leave her alone in that house, filled with our shared memories. Our life together, now nothing more than rubble. Next day, call Connor again. Tell him I want to dig deeper. Pull out every skeleton she has hidden. If she wants a fight, I'll give her one she'll never forget. Connor's team goes to work. Within days, he has more than enough to back my case. Financial records showing secret spending. Messages revealing more than one affair. Even a few accounts she'd hidden from me. It's all lining up. Can feel the tension and anger, finally finding release. This isn't just about revenge. It's about reclaiming my life, making sure she can't take another ounce of my dignity. 2 weeks pass. Meet for mediation. Lily walks in looking polished, completely composed, like she's convinced herself everything could still go her way. Her lawyer sits across from me. Slick-looking guy, looks about as trustworthy as a snake, has this smirk on his face. They think they have the upper hand. But as soon as we start, becomes clear who's really in control. Every piece of evidence I present, every record, every email, makes her face tighten more and more. Watch her lawyer's smirk fade as he realizes their plan is unraveling. Adrian, Lily finally says, her voice breaking. First time since this all started. Please don't do this. We can work something out. Lean forward in my chair. Look her straight in the eye. Let her see the finality in my gaze. Lily, you already worked it out. You decided on this path. When you threw our marriage away, now you're going to live with the consequences. Her lawyer senses the situation slipping. Quickly suggests we take a break. Walk out of the room. Breathe in the cool hallway air. Let myself feel first real sense of peace. In weeks, about to step outside for some fresh air. Notice Lily approaching, her eyes wide. Expression I've never seen before. It's not anger. It's not pleading. It's pure fear. What else do you have on me, Adrian? She asks, her voice a mixture of desperation and dread. What else did you find? Look at her. Debate whether to tell the truth or let her stew in uncertainty. Something in me, maybe the part that once loved her, wants her to know exactly what she lost. Enough, I say. Keep my voice calm and controlled. Enough to make sure you don't get to play the victim. In this story, enough to make sure you can't hurt me anymore. She opens her mouth to respond. For once, words fail her. Feel a strange sense of closure. Don't need to see her reaction anymore. Don't need her to feel my pain. To understand the betrayal, I'm done. Walk out of that building. Feel the weight lift completely. Don't look back. Don't have to. For the first time since this began, feel truly free. Not just from Lily, but from the bitterness, the anger. Finally reclaim my life. Step out into the crisp evening air. Know it's the start of something new, something I can build from scratch. Month passes after the mediation. Move out of our house. Find small apartment across town. Start putting pieces of my life back together. Expected relief. Sense of peace. After finally walking away from Lily. Instead, there's something strange. This quiet feeling I can't shake. Like something unresolved, hanging in the air. Then, out of nowhere, get a text from her. Adrian, can we talk, please? Just one conversation. It's important. Stare at the message. Every instinct tells me to ignore it. But something nags at me. A curiosity that won't go away. Against better judgment. Agree to meet her next evening. At this quiet coffee shop we used to go to. Place I never thought I'd see her again. Walk in. She's already there, looking more frail than I remember. Face lined with exhaustion. And something else. Can't quite place it. The Lily I see now is different. There's a nervous energy about her. Desperation in her eyes. Doesn't match the confident, almost arrogant woman who betrayed me. Adrian, she starts. Voice low, barely above a whisper. Thank you for meeting me. Just nod. Stay silent. Wait for her to get to the point. Air between us feels thick, charged with things unsaid. Can feel that familiar anger, still bubbling beneath the surface. I need to tell you something, she says. Glances around nervously, making sure no one can hear. Something that I didn't want you to find out. Not this way. Spit it out, Lily. I don't have time for more of your games. Reply with barely restrained coldness. She takes a deep breath, wrings her hands, struggles to find the words. Adrian, there's more to the story than just what you found out. Part of me wants to laugh. Of course there's more. With her, there's always more. But as she speaks, notice something strange. She's genuinely trembling, her eyes darting around, looking everywhere but at me. What's going on, Lily? I ask. My voice drops softer, despite myself. She leans in close, whispers like she's afraid. Of being overheard, Ryan isn't who he seems. He's been blackmailing me. For months, Adrian. He found out about the other guy, and he threatened to tell you everything. If I didn't, she trails off, her words barely audible, eyes pleading with me to believe her. My mind races, trying to make sense of what she's saying. So let me get this straight. Ryan blackmailed you into staying with him, and you expect me to feel sorry for you now? She flinches at the coldness in my tone, but there's something in her gaze. A flicker of desperation unsettles me more than I care to admit. It wasn't just that, Adrian, she says, her voice breaking. He wanted more than just what you think. He's been taking money, getting into my accounts, draining everything. I was trying to keep him quiet, but he kept demanding more. My stomach turns. Watch her unravel in front of me. She's not lying. Too much fear in her eyes for this to be another game. Still, the anger within me isn't gone. Why are you telling me this now, Lily? Why not go to the police? Why not tell me months ago, instead of letting me find out the way I did? Because she hesitates. Voice drops even lower. Because he's dangerous, Adrian. And he knows things. About both of us. About you. Me? I repeat. Genuinely confused. Haven't done anything to hide. My life has been an open book. Any secrets I had were ones she already knew. What could he possibly have on me? She hesitates, clearly struggling with whatever she's about to say. He's been digging into your life, Adrian. Everything about you. Even stuff I never knew. He knows things that could ruin you. Your career. He threatened to expose it all. If I didn't keep him happy, stare at her, feel my heart race. As a chill spreads through me, how much of this is true? Is Ryan really dangerous? Or is she simply desperate to reel me back into her web of lies? But as I look at her, reality begins to settle, if there's even a fraction of truth to what she's saying. This isn't just about her betrayal anymore. It's about someone who crossed a line into both our lives, taken things further than I'd ever imagined. What do you want from me, Lily? I ask, my tone softer. Though every instinct screams to keep my guard up, she takes a deep breath, her face pale as she finally speaks. I need your help, Adrian. I don't know who else to turn to. He's already taken so much from me, and if he goes public with what he knows, he'll ruin both of us. I'm out of options. The room seems to spin, try to make sense of her words. Every part of me wants to tell her, to deal with her own mess, to walk away from her, once and for all. But then think about Ryan, that smug stranger in the elevator, the guy who looked me in the eyes, with zero remorse, have no intention of helping Lily for her sake. But if this guy is dangerous, if he thinks he can manipulate her and destroy what's left of my life, in the process, can't sit back and let it happen, nod slowly. Feel the weight of what I'm about to say, settle on my shoulders. Fine, Lily, I'll help you, but not for you. For me, and if you lie to me again. If I find out any of this is a game, I swear I'll make you regret it. Relief floods her face. She nods, wipes away a stray tear. Thank you, Adrian. I swear I'm telling the truth. Just be careful. He's not what he seems. Walk away from that coffee shop. New resolve takes hold of me. This isn't just about Lily anymore. This is about facing a man who invaded my life, manipulated my wife, threatened to ruin everything I'd built. This time I'm ready for the fight. Done playing the nice guy. Don't waste any time after leaving Lily. Call Connor. Fill him in on everything she said. Sounds crazy. A blackmailer lurking in the background of my life, manipulating my wife, threatening to dismantle whatever was left of my reputation. But with Connor's experience and connections, know he'll get to the bottom of it. I'll dig into Ryan, he says, his voice a blend of curiosity and caution. If he's as dangerous as she says, he won't be easy to corner, but we'll find something. Few days later, Connor calls with update. Adrian, I've got something, he says, his voice more tense than I've ever heard. This guy Ryan, he's been on the radar for a while. Turns out Lily wasn't his first target. He's done this before. Befriends someone, gains their trust, then blackmails them. The guy's a professional, a ghost, and he's got a long list of people in his pocket. Take a deep breath, pieces starting to fit together in a twisted picture. So he uses people, gets dirt on them, drains them financially, and moves on to his next target? Exactly, Connor confirms. And if Lily's telling the truth, he's been doing the same to her. I checked her bank accounts. She's been wiring money out to an offshore account under his name. For months, my stomach churns. Lily had hidden a lot from me, but this was worse than anything I'd imagined. She'd not only betrayed me, but gotten herself entangled with a guy who made his living off exploiting people. And now somehow I was in his crosshairs. What do we do? I asked. Feel a new sense of urgency. How do we stop him? Connor's voice turns steely. I think it's time we turn the tables on this guy. If he's using blackmail, let's find out what he's hiding. A guy like him has to have skeletons of his own. Over the next week, Connor and I worked day and night, digging through Ryan's history, his accounts, his online records. Slowly but surely, a pattern begins to emerge. Ryan had left a trail, scattered and buried, but a trail nonetheless. Find old business partners he'd scammed, people he'd extorted, who had gone bankrupt. And then we found the jackpot. Connor calls me late one night. Adrian, I got him, he says, voice filled with excitement. Turns out Ryan has been laundering money for a small-time mob syndicate, and they're not happy with him. He's been skimming off the top. Feel a grim smile spread across my face. So he's not just a blackmailer. He's got dangerous people after him too. Exactly. And we can use that to our advantage. Next day, set up meeting with Lily. She's wary, exhausted from weeks of stress. Don't give her any more details. Then she needs to know. Can tell she doesn't quite believe. I've come to help her, but she's desperate enough to trust me. Arrange to meet at neutral location. A park, crowded but quiet enough to talk. She sits on the bench nervously, looking around when I sit beside her, takes a shaky breath. Did you find anything? Nod my head, keep my gaze steady. More than enough to stop him, but you have to be ready. For what's coming next. What do you mean? She asks. Voice a mix of hope and dread. We're setting him up, Lily, I say. Watch her reaction carefully. You're going to contact him. Tell him you've got one final payment. Something big. Arrange to meet him in a public place. Somewhere we can record everything. She hesitates, face blanching white. Adrian, I don't know if I can face him. He's dangerous. You don't know what he's capable of. Place hand on her shoulder. Steady her. I know exactly what he's capable of, Lily. But this is the only way. If he thinks he's getting what he wants, he'll walk right into the trap after long silence. She nods. All right, she whispers, fear evident in her eyes. I'll do it. Night of the meeting arrives. Everything's in place. Connor's team set up around location. Small earpieces in place, so we can hear everything. Wade and Van down the street. Heart pounding. Listen to Lily's breathing on the other end. When Ryan arrives, Lily's already sitting there. Her body language stiff, guarded. He slides into seat beside her. Confident smirk on his face. Looks around casually. Obviously feeling in control. Lily, he greets her. Tone smooth and casual. Like this is just another business deal. I didn't expect you to come through. I was starting to think I'd have to take this little situation to your husband after all. Her voice trembling but steady. I have the money, Ryan. This is the last time, right? After this, you're done. You don't contact me. You don't contact Adrian. You just disappear? Ryan chuckles, leans in close to her. Oh, Lily, it doesn't work that way. You see, I own you now. You think I'm just going to walk away? Her hand clenches on table. Can hear her voice waver. That wasn't the deal, Ryan. You promised. He cuts her off, tone dripping with menace. I don't care about promises, Lily. You're mine until I say otherwise. And if you don't like it, maybe your husband would like to hear about all those little secrets you've been keeping. My fists clench as I listen. Force myself to stay calm. Need him to admit to more, to get him to slip up. Lily takes deep breath, her voice steadier now. You think you can get away with this? But you're wrong. People like you always make a mistake. Ryan laughs again, a smug, hollow sound. Mistake, Lily? The only mistake you made was thinking you could outsmart me? And then he does exactly what we've been waiting for. He brags, lets it all slip, admits to the blackmail, to the money laundering, to every dirty tactic. He's used to control her. That's when Connor's team moves in. Within seconds, Ryan is surrounded. Officers moving in quietly, fast enough that he doesn't even have time to react. They pull him up from the table, cuff him as he sputters and shouts, his mask of confidence slipping. Into pure panic, step out of the van, walk up to the scene, catch his eye as they lead him away. He glares at me, pure hatred blazing in his eyes. You think you've won? He spits, struggling against the officers. This isn't over, Adrian. I'll come for you. Don't flinch. Don't let his words get under my skin. I've heard it all before. Meet his gaze with a calm. I didn't know I had. Oh, I think it's very over, I reply. Watch as they lead him away. And you're nothing but a bad memory. As police cars drive off, Lily stands nearby, her face pale, mixture of relief and regret, shadowing her expression. She looks at me, trying to find words, but I shake my head. I'm done. Whatever she has to say, it doesn't matter anymore. For weeks after Ryan's arrest, try to move on. Weight of his threats still lingers, but with him behind bars, life finally begins to stabilize. Throw myself into work, reconnect with old friends, reclaim the pieces of myself I'd lost during my marriage to Lily, but despite everything that happened, part of me still feels like something isn't right. One evening, Connor calls unexpectedly. Adrian, you're not going to believe this, he says, his tone serious. Ryan's out on bail. Some big-name lawyer took his case, and he's already pushing to have it dismissed. My stomach twists. How is that possible? He admitted everything on tape. Money talks, Connor replies, frustration clear in his voice. And he's got connections? In places we didn't expect. He's already filed a restraining order. Against you, claiming harassment. Against me? I nearly choke. He's the one who... I know, Adrian, Connor interrupts, trying to calm me down. But he's playing the victim now. Claiming the evidence was manipulated. He's smart. And he's used this tactic before. He'll do anything to twist the narrative. The days that follow feel like a nightmare on repeat. Ryan has somehow spun the whole story, twisting facts, exploiting legal loopholes, convincing people that he was the one being persecuted. And what's worse, Lily is nowhere to be found. She's vanished without a trace, leaving me to face Ryan's twisted retaliation alone. One night, packing up at my apartment, hear a knock at the door. Wasn't expecting anyone. Feeling of dread settles over me, but force myself to open it, brace for the worst. Standing there is Lily. She looks different, disheveled, worn down, a shadow of the confident woman I had once known. Without a word, she pushes past me into the apartment, glances around, as if someone were following her. "Lily," I say, barely able to keep frustration in check. "Where the hell have you been?" She turns to me, eyes wide and haunted. "He's coming for us, Adrian. Ryan's not done. I've been hiding, trying to stay out of his reach, but he keeps finding me. He's been sending me messages, photos. He knows where I am, all the time." A chill runs down my spine. "Why would he be after you now?" "We turned him in. Got the evidence. What else does he want?" She takes a shaky breath, voice barely a whisper. "He wants revenge. And he's not alone, Adrian. He has people working with him. They're all part of it. His whole operation. He was just the front. And now that he's out, they're making sure he stays untouchable." Feel my hands clench into fists. "So what? He's going to come after both of us? Because we stopped him from blackmailing you? Because we tried to get justice?" "It's more than that," she says, looking away, face filled with guilt. "I didn't tell you everything, Adrian. He knows things about my family, about people I used to be involved with, people I owed money to. When I tried to leave him, he made sure I couldn't escape. And now he's using everything he knows about both of us as leverage." Her words sink in slowly. Feel a wave of exhaustion wash over me. Thought I was done with this nightmare, that I could finally move forward. But Ryan was like a shadow that refused to leave. "Why are you telling me this now?" I ask, voice laced with frustration. "You had all this time, Lily. You could have come clean from the start." "I know," she says, her voice breaking. "And I'm sorry, but I was scared. I thought I could handle it myself. Thought I could keep you out of it, but he's gone too far now. And I don't have anywhere else to turn. Against my better judgment, feel spark of sympathy. Don't trust her. Not completely, but understand the fear. That comes with being trapped by someone like Ryan. He was relentless, and he had a reach that extended far beyond anything I'd realized." "What do we do now?" I ask. Feel weight of the question settle over me. She looks at me, her eyes filled with desperation. "That mirrors my own. We have to disappear, Adrian. Leave everything behind. It's the only way to be free of him." Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. Leave everything. Start fresh. The thought is both terrifying and strangely liberating. But is it worth it? Could I really abandon my life? Because of a man who thrives on fear and manipulation? Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. Glance down and freeze. Message from unknown number. "I told you, Adrian, you can't hide from me. I know where you are, and I know who you're with." Look up at Lily. The fear in her eyes confirms it. She'd received the same message. Without another word, grab my keys. Gesture for her to follow. "We're not disappearing, Lily. Not yet. If he wants to play this game, then let's play. But this time, we're going to finish it. Drive to Connor's place. Only place I feel safe enough to think." He answers the door, surprised to see Lily with me, but quickly ushers us inside. "Show him the message," he swears under his breath. "This guy is relentless. But if he's tracking you, that means he's slipping up. He's getting sloppy, Adrian." For the next hour, we devise a plan, a final one. We'd lure Ryan into a trap, somewhere secluded, where he couldn't slip through the cracks. We'd use his own tactics against him, feeding him just enough information to make him feel secure, then catch him red-handed. It was risky, but it was the only way. Not about to spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder, and neither was Lily. This was going to end, one way or another. Following night, Lily messages Ryan, pretending to be ready to meet his demands. She arranges a meeting, carefully crafted, to give him impression that she's coming alone. Connor and I would be there, watching, waiting for the moment to confront him. When Ryan arrives, he looks confident, that smug smirk back in place. But as soon as he sees me, step out from the shadows, his face shifts, panic flickering in his eyes. "What's the matter, Ryan?" I ask, voice steady. "Didn't expect me to show up?" He glances at Lily, fury and betrayal flashing across his face. "You set me up," he spits. "Just returning the favor," she replies coldly, standing taller than I'd ever seen her. Connor's team closes in. Before Ryan can react, they're on him, securing him, before he could escape. His threats, his lies, they no longer hold any power. As they lead him away, he glares back at me, voice dripping with malice. You think this is over, Adrian? You're a dead man walking. Meet his gaze, a calm smile on my face. No, Ryan, you are. As they take him away, finally feel the weight lift. The shadows that had clung to me for so long, dissolving into nothing. Watch Ryan disappear into the police car, taillights fading as it pulls away into the dark. For first time in what felt like forever, tension in my shoulders begins to release, leaving strange emptiness in its place. The nightmare that had gripped my life, finally over. But the moment doesn't bring the rush of relief I'd expected. Lily stands beside me, silent, her face a mix of exhaustion and something deeper, maybe regret. Don't look at her. Don't want to see whatever expression she wears, because I know that for us, there is no clean ending, no neat resolution. You can go, I say quietly, voice calm and detached. Your debt's settled. We're done. She looks at me, searching my face. Adrian, I'm sorry for everything. Meet her gaze, feel nothing but quiet, distant sadness. I know you are, Lily, but that doesn't change anything. She nods, understanding. Without another word, she turns and walks away. Don't watch her go. There's no satisfaction in it, just sense of loss. For the life I'd imagined we'd build, for the future I'd thought we'd have. But that life, that future, had never been real. It had all been built on a lie. Walk back to my car, feeling eerie calm. As I drive home, finally free of the chaos, the anger, the endless questions, step into my apartment, take off my jacket, pour myself a drink, let the silence settle around me like an old friend. For first time in months, the silence feels right. But as I take a sip, my phone buzzes, breaking the stillness. Hesitate, staring at the screen, half expecting another message from Ryan. Another twist in this nightmare, but it's not from unknown number. It's from Connor. Call me now. A chill crawls up my spine. Dial him, bracing myself, though I have no idea what to expect. When he answers, his voice is tight, almost panicked. Adrian, you need to listen carefully. I just got off the phone. With a contact in the precinct, they ran a background check on Ryan after they took him in. And Adrian, he gave them a fake name. He isn't who we thought he was. My pulse quickens. What do you mean? Connor takes a deep breath. His real name is Ethan Sharp. He's been operating under multiple identities, tied to several high-profile blackmail and extortion schemes, just like the one he used on Lily. But here's the thing. Every single person who's ever gone up against him, they've disappeared, Adrian, vanished without a trace. My mind reels, struggling to process his words. Are you saying he has connections on the inside? That he can just walk away? I don't know, Connor says, his voice filled with dread. But this isn't over. It never was. He's been playing all of us, and now that he's been exposed, he's got nothing left to lose. A chill runs through me. Remember Ryan's last words. You're a dead man walking. My hands shake. As I hang up the phone, the quiet of my apartment, suddenly feeling suffocating, hostile. Go to the window, looking out into darkness. Every shadow feeling like it's hiding something. Someone thought I'd won, that this nightmare had ended, but it had only just begun. Ryan, or Ethan, or whoever he really was, wouldn't stop. I'd become his next target, his unfinished business, and he'd come for me. When I least expected it, back away from window, the silence closing in. Around me like a noose, my phone buzzes again. Message from unknown number. Nice try, Adrian. Sleep tight. Blood runs cold as I stare at message. The reality of what lay ahead, settling in, no longer a man reclaiming his life. I'm a man running from a ghost, and as silence presses down. No, I'll never really be free, not until one of us is gone for good.